What is your experience of connecting all these people, building long-term relationships, but at the same time monetizing?
It takes patience. It's a skill that you can develop.
Do you have any advice for young people who go to a networking event, they're a bit lost?
There's always a way to provide value to someone.
Hey, this is Mike from Intro Stars. Today I'm very excited to bring you a brand new episode of the Super Connectors podcast in New York. And today we've got a very special guest, Andrea from Rocket Mixer, who brings together the best people in New York for the best networking events of Super Connectors. So Andrea, great to have you on the show.
Hi, Mike. Nice to see you, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, so obviously you put on these incredible events where you bring so many super connectors together. You're a super connector yourself to make it happen and bring those people. What does it actually mean for you to be a super connector? How do you define that?
Yeah, it's a responsibility to be a super connector, but it means to be in the position to help people gain value from a connection. To be honest, I've been a connector for my entire life. I'm a people person, thank God. I'm really extrovert, and I love stories. I love everything that tells a story. So I love people, and I've been in that position in many phases of my life. Now, since almost a year and a half, I'm professionally a super connector. I'm enjoying that part. I try to help as many people as possible. I have that genuine desire to help people, and it seems that we are going very fast, and it seems that it's working.
That's good. I mean, it's all about stories. When you meet people, you love to hear their stories and put those stories together to connect the dots to bring people together. And it's all about that. So no, I'm with you on that for sure. But how do you make those introductions in your day-to-day life? Like who are the people you bring together? Where do you find those people? What are typical day-to-day introductions you make?
So before to start the mixer, I had already a big, sort of followers on LinkedIn. But when I started the mixer, of course, now I have the avenue, the privilege to bring people in our events and to get to know a lot of people. But on the daily basis, people reach out to me, especially young founders, in need of something, even if not only connections or referrals or introductions, but also for mentorships. And it's something that, I really like. I really enjoy that part.
So was there like an evolution in your own career where at some point you started making loads and loads of introductions and you thought, oh, actually, I'm a super connector. That's what I do. Like, was there a point where you started defining yourself as that?
So when people, former attendees of our events reach out to us and basically thank us because they found a co-founder, they had an important hire during the event, or they made that connection, they basically move forward their career. So that's rewarding for us. And that's, when I can see basically value from what we are doing.
So the more value you bring, the more you can, that defines you as that super connector.
Mike,
Yeah.
for me, doing networking is a form of art. I realize that most of the younger founders have incredible technical skills. They know everything about their product, but sometimes they lack skills in PR, in getting to know people, in how to promote themselves.
Yeah.
So basically, I come in for them, supporting and mentoring in that particular field.
So that's the art you bring to the table, the art of connection.
The
I love
art
that.
of connection. And sometimes also mentoring, because the real event begins when the physical event basically ends. Follow up is key.
Yeah, exactly.
The capacity, you realize when someone is really into networking and not partying or hanging out with like-minded people, when basically they have the capacity and the willingness to move forward with the relationship. Connecting people is not enough. What I mean by that is that a relationship, it's like dating. You need to fit the relationship in order to maintain it. And doesn't mean that necessarily you have to ask something right away to the person you just met. First and foremost is providing value. And second, of course, it's life, give and take. There might be the chance in the future, you're going to help each other, or you're going to help me, basically, some way.
And you have to be likable. People have to like you, to be able to do business with you and build that relationship. So being likable, bringing value, and helping others is always the first rules of networking before anything else, before you ask for anything, for sure. I'm with you there, absolutely. I've been to more than 1,000 networking events myself as a super networker, super connector, and I see exactly what you're saying. It's about the follow-up and bring value to people. That's how you make it work. So tell me more about what is your experience of connecting all these people, building long-term relationships, but at the same time monetizing? How do you bring those two things together, the relationships, the trust, and then monetization?
So our events are completely free. But since we are growing fast, we are becoming more selective. We have an extremely simple business model. It's a sponsored dollars business model. So we earn from our sponsors and our partners. And so we are able to provide value for free to our attendees. So that's basically what we do.
And in terms of referral connections or introductions to business deals, do you ever monetize that part? Either you getting referral commissions or paying other people referral commissions for a successful introduction, which just ends up in the deal. Is that part of that model too?
It's not part of the model, but I see intro stars basically, going in that direction, which is an incredible thing.
I mean, the idea is really to open up that opportunity for millions of people out there to build a side hustle as introducers and connectors. And most importantly, to inspire people to make more connections, to be better introducers by becoming really specific about it. And so a platform like IntroStars is about tracking introductions that you make and receive.
Super important.
And making sure you reward introducers on success. Even if a deal comes out 6 months later, the introducer gets fairly compensated. And really that's important to make people really more keen and excited to make more introductions and connect more people. How do you think that's going to change how people network and connect for young people coming into this?
It's a game changer. Having a platform where that first filters the people in, and having the chance also to monetize and to make some extra money from the introduction, for me, it's a game changer. So I can be extremely open to be part of it.
Yeah, and it's also about people putting out there what they're looking for and not being shy about saying, hey, I'm looking for introductions to so-and-so. Because that's so important, being transparent about it. So putting it out there to the universe to actually get what you need.
Absolutely. Right? Mike, anyone in the game of networking or PR can be useful and can provide value. Sometimes young founders are kind of scared that are not great enough, or they don't have enough experience, or they don't have anything to offer to the other part. But it doesn't work like that, because we all know people, we have our experiences, even if it's small experiences. But there is always a way to provide value to someone, not necessarily with an introduction. There are a lot of ways we can provide value, or even an advice, a life advice, a professional advice, a book that can change a mind.
Yeah.
For me, networking is not going to a party. We are proud of ourselves because we organize curated events.
Yeah.
Starting from standing venues in the city with great food, beverages, the quality of the speakers that we bring in, the founders who pitch in our competition, and so forth. So for that reason, we are creating the perfect setup for a great morning or evening of networking. Party is something else. You know what I mean? You can get fun, I get it, but networking is work.
Yeah.
You enjoy basically what you are doing, but we are working.
Yeah. I mean, that's your approach. My approach is everything's a party, life's a party.
Good for you.
Absolutely. It's about helping each other and bringing value to each other, right? And helping each other. For me, that's so important. So do you have any advice for young people who are new to this world, young startup founders or others who go to a networking event, they're a bit lost, they don't know what to say, who to meet, who to talk to? Like, what is the approach you'd recommend to them?
You don't have to be a people person to be a great networker. Absolutely not. You have to have the willingness, of course, to be willing to help other people. And as soon as you start, the better. Because just to give you an example, I organize events myself. I can organize an event every 2 weeks, even if we don't do that yet. Because again, it takes time. We are very curated events, so it takes time for us to put together all the pieces. But still today, for me, every day or every week is New York Tech Week.
Yeah.
I have that type of approach. Absolutely. I attend 3 to 4 events every week, and I get my hands dirty. That's what I suggest to the young generation. Don't be afraid, be scared. Everything starts from one event.
Yeah.
And be consistent. And again, don't try to look to play the game in the short run. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It happened to me that I met the director of an important accelerator in New York City back in January 2024.
Yeah.
I remember that day, January was dark, was cold, was raining, and I didn't want to get out, but I said to myself, this is a great event, I gotta go, I gotta be there. I met this girl, the director, and after 11 months, we organized a super big event, successful event together. After 11 months, so almost a year.
Yeah.
So it takes patience.
Yeah.
It it's a skill that you can develop and just, again, get your hands dirty and go for it.
Build relationships, meet
Absolutely.
people, and that will always open new opportunities. I love that.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So what are you working on now? Where can people follow you right now and see your adventures? Any things dear to your heart you're working on right now?
Yes, sir. We are keep building the community. You see, I don't talk about the community as a business, even though now it's a business.
Yeah.
Because we are profitable, thank God.
Cool.
But for me, again, we are building a community, how can I say, a vibrant community of people that are not there just to take advantages, but again, to provide value from within. And so we're building the mixer. Building the mixer, we have a nice autumn season that we are preparing. And I'm on LinkedIn. We have an official platform, rocketmixer.network. But the best way is to get in touch with me and basically meet me in person. That's what I value. We get a coffee, we get a glass of water, whatever. While we meet in person, we can connect even in 15 minutes.
Are you focusing just on New York, or are you expanding to the rest of the US,
No,
globally?
We're expanding. Certainly, we are going to be in the East Coast. We're going to have a presence in the East Coast, Washington, D.C., Boston, and Philadelphia. And in the West Coast, of course. And we already organized an event overseas in Seoul, in Korea. So our goal is to move with the competition, to bring the pitch competition to other regions, to other states, to other countries. And we get an invitation, formal invitation, to organize a pitch competition and networking event in Dubai.
That's amazing. Taking over the world of networking, doing amazing events, and making sure everyone brings value to the event by making it very curated. It's not a party, it's a networking event.
You got it.
But you should have fun, right?
Yes, always fun.
Always fun. Andrea, I really enjoyed this conversation. I definitely had fun. And I can't wait to go to many of your events and do some events together at some point as well.
Thank you for your time, Mike. Pleasure.
Great. Thank you so much, Andrea. Take care.